In a move that has sent shockwaves through the corridors of the Pentagon and the White House, Russia has operationalized a state-of-the-art ammunition manufacturing facility in Venezuela, poised to churn out a staggering 70 million rounds of 7.62mm cartridges annually for Kalashnikov assault rifles. The revelation, which surfaced amid escalating tensions in Latin America, marks a bold escalation in Moscow's military footprint in the Western Hemisphere, prompting U.S. officials to decry it as a direct threat to regional stability and a blatant circumvention of international sanctions. The plant, located in the industrial hub of Maracay, roughly an hour's drive west of Caracas, was officially launched in its first phase earlier this year by Russia's state-owned arms exporter, Rosoboronexport, under the umbrella of the Rostec conglomerate. According to a statement from Rostec dated July 2, 2025, the facility is already producing tens of thousands of rounds per shift, with full capacity expected to hit 70 million cartridges by mid-2026. This project not only fulfills our obligations to a key partner, but also demonstrates Russia's resilience against unlawful sanctions, said Alexander Mikheyev, CEO of Rosoboronexport, during the unveiling ceremony attended by Venezuelan Deputy Defense Minister Henry Rodriguez and Industry Minister Alex Saab. The ammunition in question, 7.62 by 39mm rounds compatible with the ubiquitous AK-103 assault rifle, will primarily supply Venezuela's armed forces, national police, and other security apparatuses. The plant features 4 dedicated production lines, 2 for steel core bullets designed for maximum penetration, and 2 others for tracer and blank cartridges used in training and signaling. Supporting infrastructure includes a waste disposal unit, intermediate storage depots, a 210-meter indoor firing range for quality testing, and even a fire suppression reservoir to ensure operational safety. A rigorous testing regime at an on-site inspection station has already certified the rounds as meeting international ballistic standards, according to Venezuelan officials. This development is no overnight feat. The roots trace back to a 2006 defense pact between then Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez and Russian President Vladimir Putin, aimed at bolstering Caracas's military self-sufficiency amid U.S.-led pressures over human rights and oil policies. Construction on the Maracay site began in 2009, alongside a parallel AK-103 rifle assembly plant that commenced operations in 2024 after years of delays. However, the ammunition facility faced a labyrinth of obstacles. Western sanctions imposed on both nations since 2014, the COVID-19 pandemic, supply chain disruptions, and a 2015 corruption scandal that led to the arrest of a Russian contractor for embezzling over 1 billion rubles, approximately $10 million at the time. Despite these challenges, we've achieved a full-cycle production capability on Venezuelan soil, Mikheyev told Russia's TASS news agency. The defense potential of Venezuela has considerably increased. For Russia, the plant serves dual purposes. It generates revenue through technology transfers and maintenance contracts while projecting power in America's backyard. Analysts note that the facility could also streamline end-user certificates for ammunition exports, reducing bureaucratic hurdles under global arms control regimes like the Wassenaar Arrangement. From Washington's vantage point, the news couldn't come at a worse time. Just days ago, on November 25, 2025, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken issued a stark warning during a Senate Foreign Relations Committee hearing, labeling the Russian-Venezuelan axis a destabilizing force that could arm non-state actors across the region. This isn't just about bullets. It's about bullets potentially flowing to cartels, insurgents, or worse, Blinken stated, echoing concerns from intelligence briefings that the plant's output might exceed Venezuela's domestic needs by a factor of 3. The U.S. Southern Command, SOUTHCOM, has ramped up surveillance flights over the Caribbean, with the USS Lake Erie destroyer and USS Newport News submarine redeployed to monitor Venezuelan waters as part of an expanded Caribbean Shield initiative. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan went further in a CNN interview on November 28, calling the facility shocking and provocative. We're talking about a sanctioned adversary embedding itself in our hemisphere to produce weapons-grade ammunition at industrial scale. This demands a unified response from the OAS, Organization of American States, and our allies. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are already drafting bipartisan legislation to tighten sanctions on Rosoboronexport and impose secondary penalties on Venezuelan entities involved. Senator Marco Rubio, Republican Florida, a vocal critic of the Maduro regime, tweeted, "Putin's ammo factory in Venezuela is a middle finger to Monroe. Time to squeeze harder." The geopolitical ripples extend beyond bilateral spats. Venezuela, under President Nicolas Maduro, views the plant as a lifeline for its sanctioned military. Since 2006, Caracas has invested over $12 billion in Russian hardware, including Sukhoi Su-30 fighter jets, Mi-17 helicopters, and T-72 tanks. The new facility dovetails with a May 2025 defense memorandum signed by Maduro and Putin, which also covers joint oil exploration and OPEC Plus coordination to counter Western energy dominance. National production means sovereignty, Maduro declared in a televised address from the plant, flanked by rows of gleaming machinery. No more begging from imperialists for our security. On the economic front, the plant promises jobs for 500 locals in Maracay, a city hit hard by hyperinflation and oil sector woes. Venezuelan officials tout it as a model for Bolivarian industrialization, with plans for a second phase that could incorporate rifle assembly under one roof. Yet, whispers of forced labor and environmental shortcuts have emerged from anonymous workers, prompting Amnesty International to call for an independent audit. As the dust settles on this audacious venture, the U.S. response looms large. Diplomatic cables leaked to the New York Times suggest contingency plans for cyber disruptions to the plant's automation systems or incentives for Maduro to halt expansion in exchange for sanctions relief on food imports. Brazil and Colombia, key U.S. partners, have expressed unease, with Bogotá bolstering its border patrols amid fears of arms smuggling. In the end, Russia's Venezuelan ammo gambit underscores a shifting global order. Sanctions as mere speed bumps, alliances forged in defiance, and the specter of proxy conflicts inching closer to home. For the U.S., it's a wake-up call to reinvest in hemispheric ties, or risk watching its backyard become someone else's arsenal.